Judge Joe Brown. I want to say welcome back. I Never Knew TV. Glad to have you here. We want to get right into it, right? And the question that everyone is concerned about is migration. All right, immigrants in America. I've heard numerous theories about why the American government is providing so much support to immigrants, while many Americans are homeless and housing insecure. Um, what do you think is fueling this mass movement of financial support for newly arrived immigrants in American cities?
They're not immigrants, they're illegals. And what's going on is very simple. You have the situation set up by Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution. It says every 10 years there shall be a census conducted, the primary purpose of which is to determine the apportionment of representatives in the House of Representatives. We call them congressmen, in other words. So I participated in no less than five census takings as an adult. This last one in 2020 was the first one. They did not ask whether I was a citizen or not. Also, it's the first one where they did not inquire as to the status of my parents, what their status was. See, heretofore, what went on is they said these are the citizens, this is the population of the United States, and we have another category of people who are not citizens. This time for 2020, they combined them. What's the purpose? Well, so California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, etc., will not lose congressional representation and will perhaps gain representatives. In other words, if you build up the population of California, they maintain the current number of congressmen, or they might gain one or two, but the people that are being counted toward this gain or retention cannot vote. So there are what I call local yokels, New York and a few other places, California, places like San Francisco, where they have an Asian who is not a citizen who's sitting on, of all things, the election commission to determine for San Francisco how the votes are counted and such like. There are locals that are trying to generate this thing. They also are trying to bring in people who are susceptible to a new agenda, which is to impose the rainbow cult on the country. It is a new religion. And in order to understand its religious nature, contemplate Buddhism. Buddhism is an ancient and honorable religion, but it does not have a deity, no God. Same thing with LGBTQIA. Not homosexuality, but this cult that's represented by the rainbow. You cannot teach Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism in an American public school, but you can teach rainbow. Kids get taken to Sunday school, the church by their mothers, and they sit through bored to tears for an hour or 2 hours, a few Sundays out of the month. And by the time they are 6, 7, 8, 9, they're devout believers in whatever the religion happens to be, whether they went to church, synagogue, or mosque or temple. But what you have is the rainbow being imposed 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, preschool all the way through 12th grade. So they are indoctrinating people in this rainbow thing. And it is a system of philosophy that deals with nihilism. In other words, self hate. You don't like what you are, you want to be something else. There are no standards, duty, honor, obligation, responsibility, accountability, purpose, cause, morality, ethics. All of that goes out of the window. And you get rid of those guiding principles that have controlled and directed humanity since we've been here. You get rid of shame and guilt. Oh my God, we have to get rid of shame. Somebody dealing with shame online. Oh my God. And you see, when you get this kind of thing, you get rid of the human control mechanism. Shame is good, guilt is good, it causes people to behave. But we've got this cult that's attempting to put this in place. So, what they're trying to do is recruit followers. And that's why politics looks so crazy today, is because it's not about the ordinary things, which are what do you get for your vote? What kind of economic economic background or environment are you creating? What kind of thing about the options that a government will exercise? You're getting in place this thing where the primary elements are destruction of masculinity, where it's anti manhood, anti womanhood, anti childhood, anti nuclear family, and setting up something else. The prototype that you're getting in place to run this, you can see by what's going on down in Georgia right now. Fannie Willis is a classic example, the poster child for what's supposed to be imposed on us in terms of leadership. That's whether you're talking about Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, whether you're talking about Cory Booker, whether you're talking about Lori Lightfoot. This is what is to be put in place. It's not affirmative leadership, it's administration to push an agenda. And see, what we're getting away from in our cities is the leadership that can get out on the street and say, "Follow me," and people will go along behind.
Judge, I have a quick question, right? So, what do they plan on doing with the citizens that are already here?
Screw them. You know, like Richard Pryor joked 40 something years ago, he said they're getting them some new Negroes. I don't use that N word, but new Negroes, so to speak.